What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 30th day of September, and here we are, sitting at about 1.03 cents. Before we get into the video and do TA, I want to point out the Goliath Testnet is supposed to be launching today. This post was made, this is the last post they made of their countdown for the Goliath testnet, and I did some math. I hate time math, but I did some math. This was made at 11:40 a.m. my time on the 21st of September. It's the 30th now, so 30 minus 21 equals 9, so we take away 9 days, but it was at 11:40. For where I am, it's 8:20 now, so not quite a full 9 days. There's 2 hours extra, right? 2 hours between 9, 10, 11, 3 hours extra. 3 hours and 20 minutes extra. So we take away the 9 days, we add 3 hours here, that would be 13 hours and 40 minutes. 13 hours and 40 minutes left right now is what I'm saying by the time of this video. 13 hours, 40 minutes left. Let's see what the timing is on UTC time. It's the 14th hour now. So that would mean tomorrow, the 1st, by the way of the crypto charts, on the 3rd hour, by that time there, we should have Goliath testnet coming out, right? So whether it's today by the way of the charts or tomorrow technically by UTC time, it should be coming out within the next 13 hours. That's when the countdown is there. So they might just push it all the way back to the countdown if it's not launched yet or released yet. But I was looking at the Onyx DAO here on their X page. Let's just see. Last that I've checked, they haven't updated it yet. 19 hours ago. Don't forget to check on your intelligent blockchain assistant. Nothing else. Nothing regarding the testnet. So just putting that out there. It is the final day. We do have about, by the way of their countdown, 13 hours left. 13 hours and 40 minutes left. Which actually, I believe, not the 3rd hour, then it would put us on the 4th hour, because that extra 40 minutes, I believe that would put us by the 4th hour. On the 3rd hour it should be. But anyways, I'm getting tied up in the semantics here. Let's carry on. Let's talk about the TA. Okay, let's do this. I just wanted to be clear and not confusing about when the when the testnet's supposed to be out. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th hour, somewhere in that time frame there. I hate time math. Looking at this here on a daily time frame, I made a claim yesterday that if Bitcoin confirmed that it found its low, that maybe OnyxCoin has a double bottom here as well. And it's possible. Right? XCN can move lower while Bitcoin finds higher lows and moves higher. It can happen. It has happened before. This is not a normal looking low, but it could be some form of a double bottom. Very classic kind of double bottom with an M in the middle of it. It really could be. I just don't like how much grinding there is, right? Whole week here of grinding, basically a whole week here as well of grinding at this area. You would think that you would go lower, right? Or at least see something like this where it's a fake out, where maybe on one day you get a quick wick all the way down to however low it is, and then we're back up. I would very much expect, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, that this overall move performs much like a double bottom. But the low itself might be a wick, a fake out wick, kind of like this, right? Here, just notice how your price action was basically here in this block. You grinded out this block altogether. But there was one big wick that took you out, right? That I think we're going to get something similar to that here. Right? You're grinding it out, but you get a wick to the downside here. And this was actually a pretty modest wick right there. I don't know, same kind of concept. I would think that we do see prices at 0.0099 to 0.009. But on the bright side with this kind of behavior, I wouldn't then expect that we go lower than 0.009. Like this wick is not going to be massive, right? It's not going to be like February 3rd. It's not going to be like this back here. That was massive. February 3rd was that first day we were talking about the tariffs back on February 3rd. They were going to come into effect on that day, but then before the stock market opened, they actually worked it out to where they pushed it back a month, remember? So we had some wicked volatility that day. Anyways, looking at the price here, it would make a lot of sense, in my opinion, from a low to a high, that we go down to the 786, that we see 0.0099, if not something a little bit lower at least, right? It doesn't have to be this dramatic wick all the way down. This wick right here, just to that line, would be adequate enough. But it depends on the reaction afterwards, right? We need an immediate reaction. We need immediate recovery. XCN OnyxCoin has been beat up It's been beat up for a very long time, right? Since the 11th of April. Overall, this whole market, I mean, if you bought really, you know, compared to where the bull market started, which is all the way back here, debatably, arguably, right? When we started turning things up finally after the lows here, right? We started to turn things up. That was that kind of focal point where we turned around. Really, most of the time that OnyxCoin's been alive in this bull cycle is given abundant opportunity at dramatically lower prices. You're outperforming the average altcoin by far if you bought really anywhere in this range. But for its recent history, its more recent history, it's been beat up. It's been very, very beat up. So what we're expecting, or what I would like to see as a result of finding your low, is that after all this bearishness, after all this time without a beat of bullishness really, or any kind of beat we get beat back down, I would like to see an immediate reaction. Not some slow grind and then we move up, right? That's not going to give me enough faith. Not that it wouldn't give me faith that we could continue higher. We absolutely could. Weird things happen. But I would just like to see a more immediate reaction, something like what we're accustomed to with this coin. And I think that's what we'll get, but time will tell. Looking at this again, low to high, that's 786 right there, 0.00993, 0.00873, something in that area there. I think the lowest we go really would be about 0.0099. And again, the idea of this ABC correction would take us down to about, here, let's see, let's put this up there, take us down to about 0.0092. Yeah, right there, if I remember correctly. So we could see a wick down that low. It completes this ABC correction, and then we're off to the races, you guys. Once we're off to the races, the immediate areas to consider, we take this high here to this low here. Immediate areas to consider would be about 8.2 cents to 15.7 cents. Okay, we'll probably make an immediate snap reaction up here, and then consolidate a little bit, and then continue. Perhaps one final push higher. We'll get some bearish divergence on our weekly time frame with higher highs in the price, maybe lower highs in the RSI or something like that. We'll probably have a signal that up here at 26 to 32 cents that we're finding some turbulence, right? Even if I'm wrong, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We've gone over the numbers so many times. I don't think I'm going to be wrong. I mean, anything can happen. I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I can definitely be wrong again. But even if I'm wrong, and we don't see the 26 to 32 cent area, which at this point in time is a 25x to a 31x, very far away. But we've seen that kind of growth already. We've seen that kind of growth here, right? 2 weeks is what it took for 20x. This overall move from a low to a high was a 40x. Okay, so we're calling for something that's sizably less than that. Even if we don't go here, the minimum logical target was something of about like 11.5 cents, something like that. So that in itself from here would be about an 11x, almost a 12x. 12x, 15 cents would be about a 15x. I don't believe that we stop here. It's possible. We've made some logic out of this area before in prior videos, but to me it makes the most sense that we'd stop somewhere at 26 to 32 cents personally. And that lines up very well with this overall move here, right, that you've had. Lines up pretty well with that right there. Yeah. Perfect, actually. Quite literally perfect. Anyways, looking at the weekly time frame here, the RSI is in the same areas that we were at last time we found our lows. We could go a little bit lower, and that's fine. We do have a bit of a downtrend here. The stochastics are ugly. They're very ugly, but we're at some of the lowest parts that you can really achieve as the for the indicator, the stochastics here. That's probably like some of the lowest readings you'll get. The MACD is right at a point where we would expect to bounce. So hopefully between now and the next couple of weeks, we will see a nice bounce, and not just something that's like 30%, but in a weekly time frame, something that's like this, like 100% or 50% or more, something that takes us up above 1.5 cents, 2 cents, you know, something like that over the next couple of weeks here going into the beginning of October. That way we can get this bounce off the weekly MACD at the zero here and continue to uphold this kind of bullish look that we've had overall. One would think that with this amount of red, there's got to be some bullishness coming, right? We've something's got to give, and we do have. Is that bullish divergence? It's not bullish divergence, no. It is not bullish divergence, no. But you would think that there's got to be some green at some point here pretty soon. We're definitely stopping off. We're definitely slowing down, right? This was the speed of the first drop. This is the speed of the second drop here. I would think that this is a shifting in momentum within this overall very bullish consolidation phase of this move here. When we break out, I think it's going to be spectacular. It will be stupendous, and I would be very surprised. I would be very, very surprised. Oops, didn't mean to draw it like that. if we stopped in the first target area. The secondary zone, the 1886 to the 2618, that's more likely where we're going to stop. And I doubt that we go above 32 cents. There are sensible targets to be made out of that as well, but then we're kind of reaching them. We're over optimistic, I would say. I think 32 to 26 cents is the perfect area, but time will tell. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll wrap this video up, okay? 1 hour time frame here. RSI looks bearish, but you do have some bullish momentum here. Not a lot of volume on this 1 hour time frame. Wicking down, finding support at the same area that you've been finding support at. Maybe there's like a buy wall there. I don't know. It's like a relative double bottom. I don't know. It could hold. That could be it right there. I don't know. Depends on the reaction we get, I suppose. Stochastics have bullish divergence, and the MACD looks bearish, but it's the 4 hours, or it's the 1 hour, so who cares? 4 hour time frame, RSI looks bearish. Breaking out of your uptrend, rolling over like this, overall maintaining your downtrend. I would think we have lower to go. Stochastics make me think we have lower to go too, and the MACD also rejecting the zero here would make me think that as well. So the 1 hour bullishness is overridden by the 4 hours bearishness, and the daily looks bearish as well with the stochastics, with the RSI, and the MACD, of course, rejecting the zero there. Yes, the 1 hour doesn't stand a chance. The daily and the 4 hour are telling me that we probably do have lower to go. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but prepare yourselves, my friends. We're probably going to go just below 1 cent between today and tomorrow, or the next day. Sometime by the end of this week, we should be going below 1 cent. I don't think we go below $0.009. I think we'll hold that, but somewhere in this area, we should have a quick reaction down and a quick reaction back up. And with that, we'll know that we have our low. I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that sometime between now and the next 7 days, we will have our low. We'll have our low, and when I say the low, I mean the low from this overall move that we've been establishing since April 11th this year, okay? The low of this move we're in the final days where we should be seeing this come into play. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Hopefully the testnet, one of two things is going on, right? And somebody said it, and I said this a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to say it again now just because somebody said this yesterday, and this is bringing the thought back to me here, is that it would be better if the testnet, the Goliath testnet didn't come out today. I think it'd be better if it didn't. Yes, I agree. It would be much better if they postponed it. I'm kind of hoping, and it's funny because most of the time you don't hope for postponements, but because there hasn't really been a positive reaction in the markets, because there's a fly, so I'm doing some. I need to do karate. There we go. They go away once you do karate. Yeah, he's gone. Normally these kind of things are great, but whenever there's bullishness in the markets, there hasn't been any bullishness in the markets lately. OnyxCoin especially has not seen any bullishness. I think it would make more sense to push this back to a time when there's more bullishness in the markets. I would love it. I would love it if they push this back to the end of October. I know people would be upset, or what's the word I want to look for? Maybe fed up with waiting on this. But I think it'd be better because if it's not ready, cool, don't push it. Don't put it out there. Even if it is ready, cool, push it out whenever there's more hype being driven in the market and people can focus on a narrative. It's better for the price. I don't know. But whether they push it out today, whether they push it out later, I just hope there's transparency and it's not some kind of weak secret exposure or secret pushback. Like, I hope they're transparent and loud about what their plans and intentions are. I don't like that they really haven't made a post in over like 9 days now. I don't like that they haven't made a post in some time about the testnet launching. But maybe that's just because they're waiting, right? They're just waiting for this announcement. Or maybe that's because they know that they can't push it out today. I'm hoping that's what it is. But I hope that they handle it properly by being transparent. Be transparent, OnyxDAO. If you're watching this video, transparency. We're not going to judge you for pushing it back. Some people might give you a hard time on it, but nobody's going to judge you for pushing it back. We will judge you if you push it and it's not ready. You know what I mean? We will judge you if you're not transparent. Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.